Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mind Matters. Have you ever been mad at yourself for being messy, staying up too late, or just lounging on the couch? Take it easy on yourself. It turns out that some of these habits that seem bad can actually be linked to being smart. For that reason, the next time someone calls you lazy or forgetful, take it as a praise. You might be smarter than most people if you do that. Now that we know that, let's look at some strange habits that smart people have. 1. They're a mess. If you think of someone with a high IQ, you might picture a scientist working in a clean, white lab. It's not often, though, that smart people work in such perfect settings. In fact, their desks are usually a mess. Not because they're slobs, but because smart people are more creative, which can make things messy. They can easily get caught up in a problem and forget about keeping things in order. There is study to back this up. Studies have shown that disorganized workspaces encourage creativity by fostering freedom and new ideas. On the other hand, organized places can be limiting, encouraging conformity and discouraging thinking outside the box. 2. They like to stay up late. In TV shows and movies, creative geniuses are often shown working late into the night on a new idea. In fact, people who stay up later have higher IQs. While there are many ideas about why this happens, workaholism is not one of them. This behavior may have something to do with development. Because it was usually scarier at night, our ancestors who worked the night shift had to be smarter to stay alive. Different circadian rhythms may have caused our creative ancestors to stay up all night. This is a trait that has been passed down through generations as warped internal clocks. Psychologists also think that smart people tend to be more shy and like being alone at night to be able to think without being interrupted. 3. They swear. People often think that people who use bad language are less educated and smart, which makes it sound like they use general vulgarities to fill out their sentences when they can't think of a better word. It turns out that the reverse is correct. People who know more curse words generally have a bigger vocabulary, and being good at language is linked to being smarter. It makes sense that smarter people know more swear words. Their ability to figure out when and where it's okay to use that kind of words means they might not use them all the time. 4. They're cold in the shower. A number of famous smart people used the chill factor to their advantage. Benjamin Franklin liked to swim in the cold Thames River in London, and Theodore Roosevelt liked to skinny dip in the Potomac River in Washington, D.C. during the winter. Putting your whole body into cold water is an old habit that is good for both your mind and body. Hippocrates even said that water treatment can help people who are mentally or physically weak. When the body has to quickly get used to cold water, it sends a shock through the body that brings fresh blood to the brain and other important organs. It is also linked to better happiness and memory, which makes people more productive. 5. It bothers them that they have to chew. People who are high in creative thought may find it very distracting when someone chews gum loudly or smacks their gum, because they can't block out sense information that isn't important, like hearing problems. They like working in quiet places because they can focus without being interrupted, just like brainiacs like working late at night. 6. They draw. Have you ever looked over during class and seen someone drawing on the edges of their notes? This could mean they're bored, but it could also mean they're smart. Doodling is a habit linked to being smart. It not only helps you remember things, but it also helps you solve problems and process knowledge. In fact, studies have shown that doodling helps people remember 29% more. Those apparently random little squiggles are a way for people to show their feelings, thoughts, and ideas visually. It's not necessarily the drawing itself that shows intelligence. Rather, the fact that it gives the brain a break from concentrating on one thing for a long time, letting the mind wander in the background. 7. They're hard on themselves. Most people think that being smart means being confident, but this isn't always the case. People with a lot of intelligence are more self-aware and aware that the world is full of information, which can make them doubt their own skills. They are more likely to be honest with themselves when they don't know something. The less smart people, on the other hand, don't know how to admit they're not good at something. They can't see their flaws or where they're going wrong. 8. They think about other things, like doodling. Daydreaming can be a sign that you are more creative and good at fixing problems. Smart people know that focusing too much on one thing can make you think too much and miss the answer. When you daydream, your mind can wander while the main question stays in the background. This way, your brain can think about it from different angles and come back to it with a new view. 9. They chat with their own heads. When someone talks to themselves, they might seem a little strange, but it has to do with skills that smart people have, like the ability to think more deeply, remember things, and understand what others are saying. Saying the names of things out loud can help you remember them, just like mnemonics cannot. Language doesn't just help us communicate. It also makes our thoughts and perceptions stronger. Speaking things out loud uses the brain's visual memory to help you remember them, which speeds up the process of coming up with answers and ideas. 10. They like being by themselves. People who are smart tend to be more private and happy with less socializing outside of their close group of friends. They can still socialize, it's just that for them, less is more. This is another thing that can be explained by evolution. They lived in small groups of about 150 people, called hunters and gatherers. For life and reproduction, people in this circle had to talk to each other often. Our mind can't keep up with all the new information and stimulation we get from social media and other things like that. People with higher IQs tend to be more focused on long-term goals than on making friends. 11. They're a couch potato. It might seem like a waste of time to just sit on the couch and do nothing. People might think that smart people are always on the go, ready to take on the next challenge or question. In fact, people whose minds are busy may not be as active in their bodies. Even though being inactive might not be good for your health in general, it does keep your brain active. So, people who are happy to just sit around can enjoy the brain activity without having to use up extra physical energy. It was found that non-thinkers were more active than thinkers. This could be because non-thinkers get bored more easily and need to be busy to avoid the bad feelings that come with mental stimulation. What do you think? Do any of these habits sound like you? If so, do you believe them to be true, or do you think they might have something to do with being smarter? Can you think of any other habits that might have their roots in being smart? Let us know what you think and feel below. Thank you for watching Mind Matters. Please like, comment, share, and be sure to subscribe because more incredible content is on the way.